Salam alaikum, dear brothers and sisters in Islam. I am Star Moon Islam, and I will translate my videos from German to English. Exciting topics about Dajjal, end times, day of reckoning, hell, paradise, jinns, and many other topics await you. Subscribe to our channel and share this content on other social media like TikTok or Instagram. The reward is with Allah. The story of the flood is probably known to all of humanity. Many believe it and some don't. Those who don't believe in it have rational arguments against a global flood. There is also no scientific evidence that a global flood even occurred. Many religions and eras reported on the flood long before there was a Bible, Jews or Christianity. In Hinduism, Sumerians, Germanic paganism, Chinese antiquity, ancient American Indians, Jews and Christianity portrays the flood as a global event which flooded the world and its highest mountains. From the Bible we read, "And the water rose higher and higher above the earth, so that all the highest mountains that were under all the heavens were flooded. The water rose above them 15 cubits high, so that the mountains were flooded." The Bible claims that the flood was over 8,149 meters high, because the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, is so high. Such a deluge would have been even more awesome than the comet that wiped out the dinosaurs. This global deluge supposedly left all people without protection in the ark died, and only the chosen one and his followers survived. The Bible explicitly insists that the flood covered the entire globe, saying, "And there shall be no flood that will submerge the entire planet." From a geoscientific perspective, such a global flood had never occurred, and the evidence against a global flood is irrefutable. And genealogy also denies that a global flood, which only a handful of people survived. Today there are thousands of peoples. Even if only a handful of people had the flood survived, we would only have a handful of peoples. Belief in the flood is based on fake news from the Bible. The wrong view of the Bible led to misunderstandings about the flood. However, the Quran says that the flood was local. Local floods are very common, and the deluge, according to the Quran, it was local and did not affect the entire planet. We read from the Quran, "O Noah, depart from us in peace, and with blessings upon you and the communities of those with you. And to other communities we will grant prosperity, and later we will inflict on them painful tortures." If only believers boarded the ark, but unbelievers still survived, does this mean it was just a local flood? Those who were not in the area survived. In the Quran, the last prophet named Muhammad was sent to all nations, but Noah was sent only to his own people. From the Quran we read, "We only sent you Muhammad as a mercy to all nations." The last prophet was sent to all nations, but Noah was sent only to his own people. The Quran says, "We sent Noah to his people." The Quran states that Noah was sent only to his own people. So the flood only drowned Noah's people. The Quran says, "And the people of Noah we drowned." So God drowned only the unbelievers from Noah's own people, but not all the nations. In the Quran, all other nations had nothing to do with the flood. This means that it was just a local flood, but did not affect the entire globe. There is no scientific evidence of a global flood, local flooding. However, they are very common and have been proven by scientists and documented several times. A rise in sea level or even days of rainfall can cause a local flood. A polarity reversal could also be a reason for a flood. The sun not only sends light and neutrinos to Earth, but a wide spectrum of charged particles. Depending on solar activity, this solar wind is stronger or weaker. For years there have been signs that our protective shield is losing strength. The Earth is already showing wobbling patches of magnetic field anomaly. A chaotic magnetic field with multiple poles could soon emerge, and finally the North and South poles swap places. This would then mean that the sun rises from the west. According to current teachings, the last polarity reversal of the Earth took place 700,000 years ago, but that could also happen much faster. by a supernova from another star, Earth's protective shield can do little to counteract this. A polarity reversal causes a global tsunami that is 100 kilometers or more can penetrate into the interior of the country. And finally, the sun will rise from the west. The movie 2012 addressed this realistic danger. The Quran also takes this possibility into account because it says, "Judgment Day will not come until the sun rises from the west." Surah 6, verse 158. A flood is impossible from the biblical perspective, but from the Islamic perspective, it is a serious, realistic, and scientifically confirmed truth.